We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's jump right into it, man. Diddy has now 6 complaints against him in the last 6 months. 6 for 6, 6 by 6. RJ.
Six, 6 by 6. How many rings does Jennifer Lopez has now of ex-husbands? Hey,
Oh no.
no, man. Hey, this is
Diddy
gonna be a
wasn't-
crazy. What did you
Diddy,
say?
Diddy isn't in that line.
Well, did he? Well,
He
not
did.
in
He
that
did.
line. No, 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 that's true. Hey, before we continue with the show, guys, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. KR, I think we can start, man.
Yes, are Snowbody's allegations the final nail in Diddy's coffin?
It's nobody's.
Snow bunnies. He has now 2 of those 6 are now snow bunnies. And according to the story, this is what it says. Let me share my screen real quick. Accuses Diddy of the R word and also assault. So this is the woman. Let me zoom in a little bit more. In the lawsuit, April says Diddy offered to mentor her in the fashion industry while she was a student at Fashion Institute of Technology. April claims that after Diddy showered her with gifts, they linked up at a bar in Soho where they drank before going back to his room. Sounds consensual, but okay, let's continue. While there, April says she began to feel like the walls were closing in on her. When Diddy alleged began to force himself on her. Yikes. That's the first time. The second time during another incident in 1996. So the first time was early 90s, then 1996. April claims Diddy ordered her to his apartment where she met with Kim Porter. She says he forced ecstasy down her throat and demanded her to have intercourse with, well, it's not intercourse, rubation with Kim
Okay.
while he while
That's
he
that's course. Outer course.
yeah, that's they just had course, no no entering, nothing, while
Yeah.
Daddy was jerking his chicken. In the suit, April continues saying she was eventually art by the mogul for the second time. RJ.
So so the second time happened after Kim and her.
No. The second time was with Kim,
Okay, that
according
was
to
the
her.
second time. Yeah.
The problem is now Kim is not here anymore.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah.
respectful. Let me be respectful. Kim is not here anymore to tell the story. She's the only one who can verify the story, and
Yeah. Yeah. What do I think of it, KR? This is a very, like I always say, these types of cases you need to tread very carefully when you're talking about them, because usually when this happens there are no other witnesses around. So when you're talking about like a R case or a SA case or any kind of case, oftentimes it happens in a private setting.
yep.
As you said, no one's there to corroborate this. We're talking about something that happened, that allegedly happened 24 years ago. No, 34 years ago. The
34.
90s, the 90 case is a 34 years ago case, and the other one is a 28-year ago case. So that allegedly happened. Um, what I think is, and I was talking to a, well, let's call her a pupil of mine that also wants to become an attorney, and every other month.
mentee.
What did you say?
mentee.
A mentee, yeah, and my mentee. And every other month she comes to the office, and I let show her around and let her talk to the colleagues, etc. So she learns a couple of things. And what I tell her is, because she's young, and I tell her that she needs to be very careful and very mindful, because when you're young, you're 20 years old, you are malleable, I think the word is,
Mhm.
and you need to really watch out
Associated with.
who you're associating with. And as a young kid, because I don't know how old this girl was at the time, but I don't think that she
I think he was
was
19, I think, right?
19. Yeah, so that's like a very malleable age. And what I was telling my mentee is that she should watch out. Don't let people, so especially guys, right, just blindside you with gifts, because to a 19-year-old, a trip to another city is like a big deal. Getting a car is like a big deal. But to the person doing so, giving the handing out the gifts, oftentimes it's not that big of a deal. And um, it happened once when she was 19, allegedly in 1990. It happened apparently 6 years older. At that point, she was 25.
By the way, it wasn't early 90s according to this. Well, I read the story on Instagram, but according to this article, the first assault happened a year before. So
So she was
95 and
18.
96. So
Oh, 95 and 96. Yeah. Okay.
95 and 96. So
Okay.
it's a tough situation, because I do agree with you on the fact that it could have it's a private setting, but we always ask ourselves, right? People always ask themselves, how can you find yourself twice in that situation?
Yeah, and so that was gonna be my question, right? So if there was like a 6 year, because at first where I was going at, I
Six,
was
yeah.
going under the assumption that it happened with a 6 year time span. A year time span is not that big, but it happened once. The question is, why would you go the second time? Now, it's people say blaming the victim, but I think if it's you need to really watch out. So to going back to what I was telling my mentee, I was telling her that that she should always avoid people um, shining things, so like putting the carrot in front of you, because
Mhm.
if it had happened, the question is it worth it, yes or no? To to be showered with gifts. And I'll tell you, being a guy, KR, as a guy in college, always had to compete with older guys. So all the girls in my class were always looking at the guys that were like 3 years older, 2 years older, because it makes a big difference. But hey, man, is this her?
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's the
And
one of the two cases that we will highlight today.
yeah,
That was her. So
yeah. So,
I mean that's the it's a.
but my point. So just to finish my point, my
Mhm.
point is, my point is, there's a difference between blaming the victim, and there's a and accountability, holding someone accountable. And the first time, I mean, you don't. This can happen to everyone, right? But if
Mhm.
you know what type of person the man is, and you choose to go a second time, oftentimes I believe it's the trap, like it's the materialistic trap. Come, I can shower you with gifts, I can fly you around the world, I can do a lot of things, and those things are things that I think you should always avoid, because there might always be a catch.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something. The question is, and this is going to be the case now, because I think we have already talked about similar situations in the past where one case pops up, and then you get bombarded with other cases that could not be true. Um, One angle is she was art. Another angle is the way it was described. It sounds like a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation where
Yep.
he was showering her with gifts. And I mean, there is also this case right now with the former WWE director, owner, Vince
Hmm.
McMahon, where
Vince.
he's being alleged that financially abusing someone, and also doing a lot of weird stuff. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
but
gonna
that
say,
guy's crazy.
I'm not gonna say what
Yeah,
he's.
but those
Let's say,
smelly accusations.
something smelly happened right there on someone's chest.
Yo,
but but the thing is this. So in that situation, um, uh, I mean, a lot of times the sugar daddy, sugar baby, and then people might regret it, and then now they're trying to pile up because he never paid her according to her the worth she is. I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see how these cases unfold
yeah,
because I think that we pointed out as well, right? We pointed out also the case of Lil Rod, that it was a weird, it's a lot of weird things that were in that lawsuit.
yeah,
And then let's be honest, there are a lot of times in this world, and this is the problem you have, where people, you have real victims, like you said, you have real victims, and yet and then you have people who are trying to take advantage of the situation and pile on so they can get
yeah.
paid.
But there's a third category as well. There's a third
Oh, okay.
category here, and I think this is very true. And I'm saying this because if you look at a lot of testimonies or
Mm-hmm.
testimonials from former adult stars that were in the industry at a young age,
Yeah.
when they talk about the industry afterwards, they get emotional, they cry because they experience it as something very traumatic. But I believe that it was only once they got out and see actually what they did and realize what state they were in, so mental state, emotional state. Some people went there because they broke up with the boyfriend, and the boyfriend was cheating, and then the girl said, you know what, this is I'm gonna get my revenge,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth. And so they just, and once they have that, it will never go away. The footage, it will always be there. I think a lot of people do experience that as well. I think a lot of young women experience it when they get older and realize what they did, and
Mm-hmm.
realize as well, oh, I was, especially if you were in a relationship with an older man who of course has more experience, is has more game, and so on. And if they abuse their position, uh, yeah, you will feel used. And I think that feeling is something that, uh, so this is very light, so it's a high probability that you that she could have did what she did, and then afterwards realized, oh, why did I do that? Oh, I was being used, and so on and so forth. Does
Mm.
that mean that there was no consensus? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't consensus there.
Consent.
Maybe consent, yeah, apologies, yeah, that there was no consent. There might have been consent there, and the way that she's explaining it, it seems like there was consent, that she chose to do it, she chose to partake, but maybe afterwards she realized, hey, if I had known back then what I know now, I would have made a different choice. But that's not the problem of the that doesn't mean that there wasn't consent in the moment. And that's
No.
always
It's
that's
gonna be
always
tricky.
the and that's the thing about consent. It's very, 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 it's a very complicated thing. As a
Yeah.
guy, for example, guys in friend zones, when they realize, oh, I was in a friend zone and I tried to nice my way around, and it didn't get it. Why didn't she see my value? Why did she, she anyways. And so, but then sometimes, KR, when they realize that the day that the way when the guys realize that the way that they were going about it wasn't the right way, it wasn't the
Yeah.
honest way, it was trying to nice your way around, nice your way in the girl's pants, because you you were afraid of being direct and getting rejected. That was the
Yep.
reason why. And then some men get angry at the girl, and but it was the girl was just reacting to what you were doing, and but some men really get that feeling and they can hold on to that feeling for eternity. And so it's the same thing. Not to say that the pain that the guy went through in my example isn't real, nor the alleged, let's say if it is traumatic, that doesn't mean that it's not real. But to say that there wasn't consent is like it's a
It's
next.
very tough. I think what you're saying, and I mean that could be true, but how do you navigate that situation then? So, for example, when someone um, turns around years later, find out, basically revoke their consent 20 years later, is there something that the law takes a look at and says, "Oh, she might be right. You were misusing her, but at the time it was consensual."
Yeah, so at that point in a case, you would need to reconstruct the case. And the reconstruction of the case is going to be difficult. And that's basically going to be done by looking at different witness statements and statements, of course, of the parties involved. So, because oftentimes there's not no cameras of, so,
Yeah.
um, but we know about stories how two college students hooked up and they were both drunk. The videos show that they were both drunk. They both went to the dorm.
Did what
They
they did.
did what they did. The woman woke up the next day, realized that she didn't want to do it and that she only did it because she was drunk. Filed a complaint against the man, and the man got kicked out of the school. And so
You
I
forget an important part. He
which
became
part?
a millionaire after.
I didn't. I don't.
He sued the law. He sued the he sued the university after. He
Yeah, of
won it.
course, because of course both people were, but I do think that there's a tendency, although a lot of women are also falsely making claims about
Yeah.
these things, I do think that there's still a tendency to believe a woman when a woman says that something happened.
Does that actually say that? No,
That doesn't mean that it will hold up in court.
no, no. But
Um,
does it?
yeah.
Is that assumption saying that if you believe woman first, does that assumption basically say that? I know I don't want to use the word. I don't want to use the word. Let me continue. Let me continue. It has to do with
Okay.
someone being on top of the other in ranking. But okay, let's
No.
continue with the with the next topic, which is, I mean, Diddy said, "I'm sorry." I think after we recorded the video, the show last week, and right after he dropped the "I'm sorry" video. So let's take a look at what he had to say, and I think it's very important to look at his eyes in this case.
His eyes.
Yeah, you got to look at his eyes because look at what his eyes are doing the whole time. Oh, wait a second. Let me open the.
To reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted.
Are you
RJ,
saying that you are you saying I didn't are you saying that he's reading? Is that what you're saying?
is there a teleprompter there? Or is there a tablet with the bullet points that he has to touch on?
Maybe there is. I mean, yeah.
Is it heartfelt?
I don't know if
I
it's
don't know if it's
heartfelt or
heartfelt.
no, but I'll tell you this though. When Cassie filed the lawsuit and he said, and they settled the next day. What did the statement said? What did the statement say that Diddy's lawyers probably drafted?
Wait a second. Wait a second. I know what he said. I know what he said. Oh man. Oh man. You're
Uh,
Plan.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
basically, he did say it differently though. He said that those allegations were not true.
Yeah.
I could have lived with the apology had he not say that.
Yeah. I think
But
a lot of people.
to come out and say that those are all lies. Now it just reminds me of a client of mine, Kia. You want to say
Before you go
something?
into that, before you go into that, I think you're right because he didn't say it only one time. He said it multiple times after the lawsuit.
Yeah.
He kept posting pictures. I think we covered that last week. Lies. Time will tell the truth. I'm gonna defend my name. People are smear campaign. He almost said it's all because I'm black, but he didn't say that. But he was heading that way.
Yeah.
Yes, continue about your client.
Yeah. So I had a client once that lied to me. So this was like years ago. He lied to me.
When you
He
were
was
a baby
he-
lawyer with a
yeah, baby
baby
lawyer. Yeah. Yeah. So he said that he was involved in a car accident, and he said that he hasn't been able to work due to
Wanna
the
go?
accident. Due to the
Wanna go?
accident. When you went and looked, and he was involved in like 4 accidents in 3 years or something. And every
What?
time, and in each of the accidents, he was the victim. So people bumped
Oh,
into his car or
mm,
his quad. I think he was riding at one point, motorcycle and stuff. So I filed the case based on the assumption, or at least I filed the case on the assumption that he wasn't working. And
mm,
2 days or 3 days prior to the court date, the opposing counsel called me and said, "Did you know that your employee continued working after the accident?" I said, "Okay, why are you saying this?" He says, "Yeah, we called his former employer, and not only did he continue working, he was fired effective immediately after having done some things that I forgot what, but he shouldn't have done. Let me put it like that. So,
mm.
and so when I confronted my client, you know what he said? He said, "But of course I need to work." I said, "No," I said, "But you told me you didn't work. I need you to tell me the truth right now. Did you or didn't you work?" He said, "Why? What did the counsel, what did the opposing counsel say?" I said, "Just tell me the truth. Did you or didn't you work?" And he said, "Of course I had to work because I have to pay you. Isn't it logical?" I was trying to guess.
Plan. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah. So yeah, and
The
safe to
opposing
say,
lawyer was like the opposing lawyer when they called them, they called his former employer. They were like after hanging up the phone, they were like,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
yeah, we got him. And the opposing counsel was from the insurance company, and you know our insurance company, they don't
they'll
like to
dig
pay.
up they'll dig
They-
up a body to see if they still have a hand.
yeah. But the guy continued talking, and it's the same thing. Diddy is now continue to talk and try to give excuses, but you already lied, and basically,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
no one
Would you
cares
say
anymore.
would you say it's better to cloak? Would you say if it would have been better for him to keep his mouth shut?
Yeah, if instead of telling a lie, it would have been better to keep his mouth shut or at least come with a statement that wouldn't say that the complaint is based on lies.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least say, you know what, the problem is settled. I love Cassie. Wish her nothing but the best. Something like that. But if you say you didn't do it, and now you're
Should
gonna say you were in a dark period in your life, but you lied like a couple of months ago. So what are we actually talking about?
yeah. You know, do you remember the lawyer Ben Chu?
Chu. Yes, wait. Ben Chu. I should know him. Ben.
I'll add him. Ben Chu. This was Ben Chu. There is Ben Chu, by the way, not was.
Yeah, Ben Chu. Yeah. Of course, the
Ben
Johnny
Chu.
Depp.
So
Yeah, Johnny
yeah,
Depp.
Johnny Depp case. He basically was leading that team.
He was the lead
Uh,
attorney.
lead attorney. Yes. Shout out to the lead attorney as well. The
Yeah,
one on
shout out to
YouTube, by the way.
TLE, the YouTube TLE.
Yeah. So basically, what he said was that it would have been better for him to not say anything, because right now as he says, he just thrown out the window any potential objection to the authenticity of the video. Also, I think that what he said was really not helpful at all. It's absolutely reeks of insincerity, and in the light of the statute of limitations expiring for Ms. Ventura, the implications will be for the other accusers who have come forward, because it certainly gives more credence to their allegations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, NYC is considering taking back Diddy's key to the city. Hey, let me give myself and you a pat on the back. I can't
Yeah.
reach you.
No, you don't need to, man. Just touch
Okay,
yourself.
okay.
Don't touch me. I'm okay.
Pause. Hey, I'm gonna remove you off this show, man. Come on. Come on, man. What are we doing over here? You think this is a Diddy party?
No.
Nah, but all jokes aside, why you guys are asking yourself, why are we patting ourselves on the back? This right after this case happened last year, we asked ourselves, should the city take back the key from Diddy? Already back then, it wasn't a story back then. We popped it up. We asked it right away because we remember. We're like elephants in the room. We remember everything.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is he just received the key in August or September, if I'm not correct. And he got sued in November, October, November, I think, from the top of my head. So it was very fresh. Maybe people were looking at our videos and saying, hey, Double Thought is right. Let's try to get the keys out of this guy's hand, because he might enter someone's home. I'm just kidding.
He might squat.
He might squat and do some things to your lady. This is crazy. No, but yeah. So the cases now is that the Mayor Adams is looking into this situation with his team to decide whether they will rescind the award given to Diddy. RJ.
Yeah. That was the first thing one of the first thing that came to mind, because I remember it was a big deal when he got the keys to the city. And you get a key to the city because of your contribution to the city, right? So it's basically a symbol.
It's crazy you said that, because also Mayor Adams is being sued for something alleged.
Mayor Adams was also sued in the cases, actually in the same round as Cassie, right?
Yes,
The same.
Crazy thing. So you're saying he contributed to the city? Yes. Oh man, that's crazy.
I wonder what I wonder what doors that key opens, man. It's like
The
An
key.
underground,
He
an
opened the door
underground,
to the
under,
underground.
an underground, an
This is
underground club in a small alley in Chinatown.
the Diddy Party Club.
No,
But
man,
they,
but hey, it is what it is. I think it's a good thing that they did it as well. You need to do it because it should be an honor to receive a key. I don't think that had this been something else like just another kind of scandal, it wouldn't that they would have removed the key or tried to remove his key. But um things are just spiraling out of control.
yeah.
Just to be sure, if I was Mayor Adams, I would remove the key and just to be sure, also change the locks.
Well, that budget went to the New Americans. But anyway.
That's true. Yeah. They
Now,
don't
but
need keys.
shout out to Lionel. Shout out to
Hey, what's
Lionel
up with
Moreno.
what's up with Lionel
I need to
Moreno,
check it
man?
out. I need to check it out.
Oh man, what's up with him, man? It's been a
I
while.
haven't I've been tracking him the last 2 weeks, but the guy was.
Oh,
I think he's still locked up or somewhere down in Ohio down there.
man.
But yeah, it's they're looking right now into giving it to someone else.
Fitty?
No. I mean, this might be the best choice. This should have been the first choice. What do you think? Also in the realm of hip hoppers.
Who do I think they're
He doesn't
thinking
have
of
a
giving?
rasta. He doesn't have a rasta. So
He doesn't have
that's already moved off the table. There's only one left.
So a black so African American, a black artist, rapper.
Yeah,
Nas.
rapper. Yes, Nas is no,
Nas.
not the Pop Smoke. For those who wrote down
Nasir.
Pop Smoke, no, Pop Smoke is under the ground already. So
Smoke. Yeah.
he's-
Nazir.
Oh, no, dude, you said Pop Smoke. Nasir, yes. Nasir is. They are suggesting to replace Diddy with Nasir.
I think
It's a good choice.
strong candidate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't
I
know
would like to see Nas as the one who holds the keys, because with him, you definitely know he's not gonna run into your home, try to touch on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah. Just need to make sure that the key doesn't become part of the marital property between Khalees and him, because
Shout out to Nas.
shout out to
Nas.
Khalees.
Hey man, let's let's go to the Reddit stories.
Yes. Let's transition to the Reddit story, guys. This is gonna be a fun one. Well, it's an interesting one. Before we continue with the Diddy stories, check this one, KaiR. And guys, of course, as we talk, don't forget to let us know what your thoughts are about this story. The banner is being shown right now. Should I forgive my terminally ill in-laws? KaiR. We both know about obituaries being incomplete, but let's
Bro, there was a girl, I think it was like a year ago.
Oh my god.
She went on stage and her dad is white and she's half white. She talked crazy on the stage about her father. I don't know how you can do that. Calling him all types of racist names. I'm like,
Yeah, it's your
but okay,
father, man.
continue. It's your
Yeah.
father, man.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the story. This is the Reddit story. So the in-laws are 60 and 75 respectively. So there's like a 19-year-old gap. The mother-in-law is 60 and the father-in-law is almost 80.
Mm.
So the story goes as far. Last year, my wife and I my wife Jana and I had to make the decision to go no contact with her whole family. The reason being her sister, who was 30 at the time, S8 me. And
What?
the in-laws defended her. And after some legal wrangling, they finally left us alone. So this even led to some legal issues, apparently. The situation wrecked my wife's self esteem and tested our relationship, but we made it through. Jana and I had our first daughter in February. She's amazing and we're doing great. We ended up moving from Jana's home state, which is New York, to mine, Massachusetts, to be closer to my family. Shout out to Detroit. No, shout out to Boston.
Oh,
They've been incredibly
live in
helpful.
Detroit.
Detroit is a great city, man. And they've been incredibly helpful with the baby. We've not seen Jana's family since cutting contact and blocking them everywhere. And we didn't tell them about the baby. Yesterday, we received a letter in the mail from my mother in law and father in law. No idea how they got our address. Apparently, my father in law has been diagnosed with late stage cancer and is being told he could be unalived in weeks. In-laws went on about how sorry they were for the way they handled the situation with Mary. They also apologized for the way they've treated my wife her whole life. Again, so there's like another whole post, but you know what it is, KR. Like when there's like preferential treatment between the children.
And this
They
always
ended up,
happens with kids.
yeah, they ended up saying they recently heard about the baby through the grapevine and want to meet their grandchild. To me, the apology seemed genuine. They went into detail on what they did wrong, apologized, and expressed remorse, and explained what they should have done differently. They said they hope to earn our forgiveness with time and were willing to do family therapy to heal our relationship. Jenna, however, is not having it. She feels like it's a little too late and doesn't want to respond. She also suspects that they're lying about the father in law's medical or at least health situation and just want to pressure us into reconciliation so they can meet the baby. It seems ludicrous, but I guess I wouldn't put it past them.
That's
I want to respect my wife's feelings around this, but I'm worried that if the cancer is real, she may regret not taking this opportunity for reconciliation before he passes away. I expressed this to her, but she is adamant, and I haven't broached the topic since. My instinct is to wait a few more days until the shock wears off to talk about it again. I just don't know what the best way to approach it would be. I certainly don't want to force my wife to do anything she doesn't want to do, but I feel like she's not thinking clearly about this right now.
Yeah, she's not.
It also must be noted that our baby is still struggling with sleep and we're both tired and emotional all the time. So I feel like this might be influencing how she feels about all this. Question to you, KR, and of course to the double thinkers out there. What should I do here? Should I try again to convince my wife or just let it be, KR?
I think I think he should push her to reconcile because when push comes to shove and the dad passes away in 3 months, she's gonna blame you for not pushing her.
Nah, man, you think so?
What do they always say? Who is the head of the family? Who's always getting the blame on them, whether they did something or not?
That's another question. The man. So even if the man isn't seen as the head of the family, they do get blamed for
People get blamed,
things, yeah.
whether they're not.
But in a case like this, I think KR, this is a different case because it's her opinion and it's her parents. So it seems unreasonable that she would blame.
You should break it up in two sessions. First, they
Okay.
go to meet the parents back, talk about this whole situation to see whether it's real or not, and then you go back and take the kid. Which
What if they find out that the father lied? So that the
that's
apology
why
was
that's why you gotta
true,
break it down in two.
but let's say if the apology was true, but the father lied about the, or at least
Come on,
the in-laws
come on.
lied about the health situation.
That would have been crazy. I'm not gonna even
But
think about that situation, but then it's done. Then but you find out because in the first meeting, you'll talk about the whole thing. So they don't meet the kid before. You're like you're verifying whether everything is right or not, or whether they are running a game on you, like you're a
so you're
sucker.
so you're suggesting they approach it like an attorney. I hear
I don't know
you.
how
I
I don't
hear
know how
you.
attorney do things. I
Or
I I I I approach it like a drug dealer. You don't run up
how
in the house without knowing whether someone has a gun or not. You send. I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't know anything about that though.
I don't know either. I don't know either.
But
No, but yeah.
are you saying that they should just in the first conversation, so the two of them should go, just like
Yeah.
the adults, and say
You gotta
that
I
it's
mean you
very
gotta
it's very I hear it's very tough. I heard the story. It's very tough. Before we can continue, however, with this story, or at least with this transaction, I'm gonna need to see the papers. Do you have the medical reports?
put them on the table. Put him on the table. I want to see this with my own eyes. Are you
Yeah,
about to die or not?
yeah.
Well, maybe I shouldn't use that word, but
You
okay.
shouldn't have
Too late
you
already.
shouldn't have used the other word either. But any
Which one?
the blicky.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's natural. I can't help it. Can't
Yeah,
help it. When I'm in the mode,
yeah.
can't
Hopefully
stop.
the
Can't stop
captions
the
get
train.
gum. Hopefully the captions get
Maybe
gum.
they'll think I'm black, yo.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But yeah, so
What's your opinion on it?
I I think that I think it's not something to risk. First of all, I do think that it's good to have like a good relationship with the family members. There are two things though, right? There's another thing that plays a role, and you need to be ready to forgive. So maybe what the guy said is true. Like, because they haven't heard of the
Didn't say
family in a
anything about
while.
forgiving.
No, no, but I'm just saying, yeah, but I'm saying uh there was a I was saying that, so they haven't spoken in a while. So the letter came a day before this was posted. Of
Yeah.
course, the girl, of course, was in shock because up until that moment, it wasn't a reality, right? It wasn't even a
Yeah.
scenario that she
Yeah.
thought about. So I do
Yeah.
think that it's good to let it sink. I think that she will, that it's good to do it. I do think, however, that this is my way of looking at it. At the end of the day, everyone makes their own choices, and there are risks to your choice. I mean, maybe she needs 3 months to process it before she talks to the parents, and maybe the father is
Maybe
alive
not.
by then, maybe he's not.
He
And
was doing it dirty by then.
yeah, but
There's no way
maybe
3
not,
months.
maybe not. But then she needs to be realize that her choice. So maybe she'll say, I'm not ready, but if you're not ready, there's a chance that when you are, he won't be there anymore, and you need to be willing to live with it. So that's the way I look at it, like very cut and dry. I do think that with family members, I think it's good to just have that relationship, but that doesn't mean that you need to, go every weekend. I mean, it's difficult, you're not even in the same state, but that doesn't mean that it needs to be continuous. But I think it's good that there's no tension, and sometimes no tension means you're there and I'm here, and we're okay. We don't need to talk every day, but at least
Yeah.
for yourself. And forgiveness, KR, is for yourself, so not for the other person. So you forgive so you don't walk around like with a grudge, because that's so,
Why do people assume when you don't forgive you walk around with a grudge?
because every time you hear, if someone can say, how do you say, if you hear a name and you feel a certain way, let's say a lot of times you feel mad, or
Does that mean you
that's,
did? So
no, that
when you
means the
forgive
person,
someone,
that means the person has space in your mind, that there has a certain power over you. That's the way I look at it.
oh,
And forgiveness doesn't mean you need to do, you don't need to go and say I forgive you, but it's
mhm.
just like you, it's just like I said, it's something you do for yourself. I forgive what you did, in the sense that it's not gonna bother me anymore, but I don't need to talk to you ever again. So there's a difference
but
between the two.
but but
But by the
but
way
what,
that she reacted, it's clear that she hasn't forgiven them. And so that's the power. I mean, that's what I mean with them
yeah,
still having power over
they are
her.
living rent free in their head. That's totally different than forgiving someone. I mean,
I
well,
think forgiving is a way to do that, to get the people, to evict the people.
don't give
Hey
them the
guys,
key to your city, though.
guys, let us know your thoughts and opinions. I'm just gonna read the top comment, top reaction, and then we can proceed. Top reaction comes from Cassanthrax. Sounds like something you take when you're constipated. I was
Oh,
summoned to the I was summoned to the deathbed of an estranged parent, but I did not go. I had already grieved that relationship years before, and I didn't see any point in reopening old wounds just for discomfort. He had already been dead to me, and I was okay with that. Years later, I still don't regret my choice to stay home. To stay home, I would not have benefited in any way. Your wife has already lived this. She knows better than anyone what her parents are like. Just support her and don't judge if she has no regret at all. She's had a lifetime to deal with these people and has walked away. All her mourning and regrets may already be finished and done. So that's an example of someone who didn't go and has no regrets. Hey, man.
he didn't tell you that he stabs people in his free time, but okay.
He didn't. Hey,
You
let's
gotta
move to
be
the
wary who you're following advice from. That's all I'm trying
yeah,
to say. Maybe I shouldn't have used that word again. My
yeah.
God.
I'm sure you shouldn't have. Hey, let's move to the second topic. We're gonna talk, amongst other things, about Jason Lee, also about the Diddy videos. But before we do that, guys, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button if you haven't done so yet. Follow us on our socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel, KR.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like you said, Jason Lee. Jason Lee is now saying that people are sending him Diddy videos. Let's take a look at this situation. Fair use.
Like this, and you all know I am anti-cancel culture. There's so many articles all over the internet and shows that I've been on, and interviews that I've been in, where I've talked about being anti-cancel culture. I was head of media for Kanye West. I worked with somebody and for somebody who I helped bring back from cancellation and then quit right before he went back into cancellation. So I understand, but this is different. You know, it's one thing to take ownership for things that you've done and be held accountable in the public eye and deal with it in private and work through your trauma and then re-enter the culture. But Diddy said he didn't do it, and then now this video proved that he did. So you were gaslighting us into believing that you were another black man being taken advantage of and lied on, when really you paid that millions of dollars and paid that $50,000 hotel to hide us from seeing you for who you are. Now there's alleged other videos out there that I may get my hands on, but I'm trying to stay away from. But people are trying to throw it at me of you allegedly doing this to other people. So when you go online and say it was all a lie, it really wasn't. When you saw the video, what did you guys think? Did you say we should?
Yes. So his biggest nightmare is becoming reality, because another article said that Diddy is terrified of other damning videos will emerge after he was filmed uppercutting Cassie in the hotel hallway.
KR. There wasn't an uppercut.
I can't say I think I can't read what they said there. Okay, kicking her.
Oh, you're referring. Wait, are you referring to other videos that they're trying to send Jason Lee?
Yeah,
Or are
they're
you saying
sending
what
more
we?
videos.
Yeah.
No. After, so the article says will emerge after he was filmed giving her the two-piece in the hotel hallway. So I tried to change the
That
word a little bit.
okay, got it. But the video we saw, so the video we saw of Diddy grabbing Cassie by the neck, throwing her to the ground, kicking her 2 times, and then dragging her back to the hotel room. It doesn't have any sound. Do you think that as he was doing it, he was telling Cassie to take that? Or do you think
Let's go to the next topic. Let's go to the next topic. What the heck?
well, I'll say this, I'll say this, KR.
What will happen is we'll definitely find a video where he's gonna take more hits. Because I'm pretty sure this is not the only video out there.
And the way
It
he did it,
is-
I think that's something you commented on the last show we did about Diddy.
It was too easy, man.
He did it as if it wasn't the first time.
Flow
It wasn't the
state.
first-
Yo, this is what we this is what we call when you're working really smoothly and it's going
Deep work.
deep work. He was in flow state. There was no hesitation at all. This is the first time. I mean, we sometimes see fighters in flow state where everything is easy.
Yeah.
The guy was in flow state. He ran after her through the hallway with no hesitation, dragged her back and started kicking. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, oh man. That we didn't watch the full clip of him apologizing, but he said he was in a dark place. I don't know what kind of dark place he was at. I don't know if you ever can get out of that dark place because ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no, I'll be honest. I don't believe someone can come back from that dark place.
I think you can, but
Well,
it was probably like a it was probably
you believe
like a no, but I think you can come off a dark place. If you
no,
know
I'm
those,
talking about the dark place he was in. I'm not talking about the general dark place.
I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, KR, that sometimes it's a choice. If you go to a cheap motel, then you know that they don't have the finances to always pay the electricity bills
So
or
you
to
think
change.
impulse is a choice?
Impulse? What did you say?
Do you say
Impulse is a choice?
impulse is a choice? That seemed
I'm
like
saying
impulse to
I'm saying
me.
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know where the dark place was. Was it like a motel at the side of the? I don't know where they were. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Okay. Okay. I'm misunderstanding where you were heading. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
no worries.
My bad. I was like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Before we get canceled, let me separate myself off.
Nah, man. Nah, we're good. We're good.
Nah, this is crazy. Yo. Yo, I don't understand how this guy ended up there. They
There?
have to do like, yeah, in that dark place. Because I mean, if you're swinging like that,
Mhm.
At someone who's trying to run away, it's not that dark place whether it's a motel or a dungeon with other no. Yes, I don't. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. God, please don't let me go there. Let me pray just like Diddy prays every night. Hope that everything goes right.
Amen.
According to him, he's been a man of a Lord all this time. Yeah, these are the people who are trying to represent something they stand for. Let's go to 50 Cent, man. Let's go to 50 Cent. He sold his documentary to Netflix. RJ.
Yeah, Fetty's been on Diddy for a long, long, long while. One of the most famous Breakfast Club clip is still him talking about how Diddy wanted to take him shopping.
He thought
And
50 was a itch bay.
and when they asked Diddy, because Diddy went on the Breakfast Club like after that Diddy interview, and they asked him about it, and he said, "Yeah, I thought he needed some new clothes. That's why I offered it to go take him shopping." But hey, this guy isn't. Diddy knew about it all along, man, and he's been capitalizing on him, on Diddy. Yeah,
50 is the type of enemy you don't wish upon your friends because someone might have to crash out.
yeah,
Someone might have to crash out to stop him from what he's doing.
that's
Someone
true.
has to go. It's crazy. The way he's putting pressure on Diddy is pause. It's out of this world at this moment
Yeah,
because he's been talking about this documentary for a while now, and he's been teasing people, and people thought it was a joke. Apparently, it's not.
Mm. Say what you like. Say what you want about Fitty. He's a troll, but I think he is someone that is respected. He
Mhm.
demands respect just by the way he carries himself. He's like a very smart guy. He's very smart. He's very intelligent, and it seems like he's also aware about his surroundings. Just like he said in one interview, when I see beautiful women, I just like look at them. I just like to look at beautiful women. I don't want them to get close to me. Something to that extent. Like it's because oftentimes they're problem. They just spell problem. Vivica Fox is still out there,
Ah.
still out there saying that Fiddy is the one that got away.
But when Kevin said it, he was the bad guy. Yo, these
Yeah.
people are crazy, yo. These people are crazy. Anyway, let's go to the next topic, man. Cameron. Cam went on CNN and started promoting his horse drink. They thought they had a well-respected rapper who's gonna trash Diddy. And Cam did what he always does when he goes on mainstream. Just some tomfoolery. Last time he went on Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly thought he could,
Do it live.
but he sat there and was, "Oh, you're mad." Oh, he became a meme. He's one of the first memes, actually. Now you think about
Yeah.
it. You're
Yeah.
mad. Oh, you're mad. And now he's out here giving no. I think they were trying to get him to say something crazy, and he didn't say it. And then he turns around and says, he starts. First time I watched it, I was like, "What is he doing? He's drinking mid interview. He's drinking a
Interview.
bottle.
Yeah.
He's drinking a bottle." They said, "Yeah, I'm trying to drink this horse stuff because I'm about to clap some cheeks after this one." Like, what the heck? Her face. If you look at the face of the person who's interviewing him, and you cannot show it because we're gonna get hit hard with the copyright. But she was like, "This nigga." You can
Yeah.
clearly see on her face saying, "This ninja." Why did we? Then he turned around and says, "I don't know who booked me for this. No one said I was." Yeah, it's crazy. RJ.
Yeah, he was just trolling, man. He was just sitting there and trolling. And the CNN reporter was talking to him, really tried to keep her cool.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference, right? You can see the difference between mainstream media that needs to uphold a certain standard. So she was really trying to uphold a certain standard. And Cam was just sitting there like it was, I mean, not even on It Is What It Is does he act like that. Not dressed like that. He was just laid back, no suit, no nothing, man. He was just,
Her face was like this the whole time. Why
yeah.
am I interviewing this guy?
She was yeah. She was probably asking the same thing that Cam was asking, but she couldn't do it live. She had to do it in her head. Who's the talent agent who's responsible for booking this?
Oh man! Hey, shout out to
Nah,
Kev, man. Legend in
uh,
the game, legend in the hip hop game, man. One thing you'll never catch him out of his position. You'll never catch him on mainstream out of his position. He always knows ahead. He's one step ahead. Let's close out this Diddy story with the final question, because there's a lot of people who've responded to this situation. We gotta ask ourselves: are these responses real, or is this just fake outrage? Because you have, for example, a prime minister in Australia, one of the ministers or someone in the let me see, what was it? She's a deputy of the federal liberal leader in Australia, said that Australians should boycott Diddy following the release of the disturbing footage. They should boycott Diddy.
but what is there to boycott?
The songs, I guess, that no one is playing. Who's out here playing Diddy songs other than "I'm Missing You"? And even that, people are only playing when someone is being put into the ground. There's no other moment where they're playing "I'm Missing You."
One song that I like to listen to, I listen to it. So every year there's like a week where I listen to one specific Diddy song. And it's just like when you want to hype up, you know, and that's the classic Bad Boys for Life. That's a classic. Now I know the discussion will be just like it was with Kels.
Nah,
Should
nah.
you
Not,
boycott?
there will not be discussion, man. There will be
No,
no discussion.
no, but that's the thing, right? That the discussion was whether or not you should
Don't
boycott.
even put Diddy next to. You can put a talentless dancing clown next to a legendary. Well, anyway, continue.
What are you talking about? I think you're talking about someone else, though.
Who? Diddy? Is Diddy
No,
a
what's this?
rapper?
No, no. I think who you described is someone else. So the description you gave was someone else. It was let me see what's his name. I know his name. Wait.
You know his name. Let's take a look. And I'm curious who you're trying to say I was referring to.
Because you said a talentless dancing ninja, something like that. You said.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought you were talking about Farnsworth Bentley.
Now you. Well, Farnsworth was stealing stuff. That's why they kicked him out of the Diddy circle. Allegedly, according to the story I've heard.
Yeah.
That's why he's not talking about anything, because he doesn't want his past coming up. That he was out here like a kleptomania, putting. That's the story that I heard.
I didn't know that story.
There are a lot of people don't know why he disappeared, because Farnsworth Bentley was the guy early 2000s. He was
Yeah, he
everyone's
was.
big friend.
Yeah,
And
everyone
videos all over the place.
Yeah.
And then he suddenly disappeared. And what happened was,
Yeah,
huh?
continue.
Well, I'm not gonna. What do you want to say? You want to say something?
Whether or not that makes him a video vixen.
Well, he wasn't twerking up on all up in the videos, but he was in the neighborhood of a video. I don't know what I'm gonna call that. A video bad boy. I don't know. I don't know. But now anyway, according to the stories, he was putting stuff in his pocket. So that's why you never heard of him, because they kicked him. They basically blackballed him. I hope he's
Right.
having a good life. I'll be honest. The other day I was looking, not
We-
it was back when this Diddy story happened. This is why I'm always ahead of a couple of stories. I went to search his Instagram. He now is married and has kids. So that's why you don't hear from him. This is a past life, I think. He doesn't want his stories to come up that he's been stealing stuff. Yo, the story is they found a bunch of stuff that were missing at Diddy's house at his house. And that's when they punched him in, and he made sure he ran back to where he came from.
Nice.
Allegedly.
Didn't
That's
know
what
that.
I heard. Okay, there's a lot
Alright.
of things you don't know. But anyway, let's go back to the outrage. People are now trying to say the question. The reason why I'm asking this question, right? In the 90s, early 2000s, there was this situation that happened where everyone has heard of it. Shine was involved. Shine said he took the fall for it, but he wasn't the one who popped. Her name was, and I'm gonna, Natalia Rubin, in the face. Natalia said that Diddy was the one who popped her in the face. This is we're talking about 24 years ago that happened. So now that we have a video of Diddy kicking a woman, even I'm saying it's very different than popping someone in the face. It happened back then. No one said anything. Now they see a video of a well-known woman getting kicked. Now there is an outrage. RJ, is this fake with all these Australian people saying let's boycott Diddy? And when they had to boycott him, when he popped someone in the face, no one said anything. You're on mute? Are you on mute?
Yeah, I'm on mute. Yeah, so I'll say this though. First of all, speaking of Australian, someone accused one of us of having a Australian Jamaican accent. So shout out to that dude.
Well, I have a lot of different ones because someone claimed I sound like Black Mario these days. Shout out to him though.
It's me, Black yo.
Oh man.
But we
Oh, by the way, someone also said I heard the voice and I expected Beetlejuice.
okay.
I have to send my response to that one.
Maybe
I have to send
maybe we should try to see if we can get like sponsorship, because the movie is coming out right in a bit.
Yeah, the movie's coming out.
So maybe we should try to get some residuals out of them,
Yeah.
some royalties. But yeah, whether it's a fake outrage, yes or no, I do think that I don't know if it's fake outrage. I really think that the outrage is real, but it's like from a lot of keyboard activists, right? So
Mm.
especially those people who were in the industry and knew about all these things all along, everyone accepted it, and now that it's come out, they try to act fake, etc. I don't know. I think that the outrage is real, but it will all go away as soon as there's like a new story. At the end of the day, people will continue to worship these artists, and people will continue to, they forget that the same person the same archetypes keep appearing throughout history, only in different forms. So they look at Diddy and they think, okay, now that something happens to Diddy, and maybe Diddy will go to jail, and then the world will be all good, while they continue to worship another celebrity here that will also turn out to be a monster. My guess is Sam Smith. That's just me. I
Are
do
you
think.
alleging someone? Are you floating something out there? Are you speaking it into existence?
No, 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 no. I'm just saying that, like,
Example, or it's a
yeah,
let's.
like example, yeah, example, because um, it
And
came.
there's always someone
They
else.
already, yeah. I mean, there were a couple of people accusing Lizzo of being a bully.
Oh, by the way, have you been hearing about the rumblings about Jay-Z? People
No,
asking for his head.
I didn't know. No, no, no. Yeah. So
According
it's
to
just
some, he's worse than than the diddler.
there's a video I saw. I don't know how I came across it. It was a long time ago when they just started, or maybe didn't just started, but it wasn't like was something from like probably over 20 years ago.
Mm.
Like, you can see it by the camera, the quality of the camera. But there was an interview going on. They were interviewing Diddy, Jay
Jay-
Z, and next to him there were two girls
Oh, that's
going
yeah,
at it.
yeah. That's the Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was doing some
Light.
off brand stuff in the 90s. Not that he was doing it, but he was
So he
releasing
was.
certain videos, and he
So he
was
was the.
part
He was the first. Yay.
of. Let's hope Jay doesn't go this route. Let's hope Jay doesn't go to this. Oh
Yeah.
man, I hope
Yeah.
he
No.
ships out his orders. Let's focus first on shipping out the orders, Jay, instead
But I
of trying
didn't
to
hear.
put out.
Yeah. Yeah. Ship the orders first, and then go branch
Yeah,
into other
yeah,
industries.
yeah. Don't try to scam people.
Yeah.
Nah,
But
anyway,
yeah, I didn't know about the JC rumblings. Okay. But
yeah,
yeah, so it's just gonna keep on piling up. It is interesting to see that a lot of the stories that are coming out, the majority of them, seems to be about black artists. And some people are saying, yeah, but what about the white artists that do the same thing? I don't know. I don't know.
they have NDAs.
Like Donnell Rawlings said, in one case, I think he was on an interview, he said, um, if we can't settle this, we need to settle this in the streets. And when I say the streets, I'm gonna call my goons. And my goons all have Jewish last names, and they'll fight it in court.
Yeah, hey,
So,
it's
and I
almost
think that's
impossible that
but that's the way to do
if
it,
you
right?
think about it, and you're right about in the let's say the 60s, 70s, all these rock stars, they were living wild lives, and nothing is coming out of that other than two or three stories. I mean, some people have sued some of these rock stars in that New York kind of how do you say that, where they
Yeah,
prolong the
yeah,
time of people can sue, etc. But there's only a handful, and all these rock stars, I mean,
and you
it's
know
almost
that,
impossible. It's impossible.
and, and you know that
Their lives were wild.
we know what their drug of choice is. So you know that they were going harder.
Ah,
The better.
hey, let's before the people get a hold of us. Let's go to the next topic, man.
Yeah,
I
let's
want I
move.
want I want to end up like a Boeing whistleblower out here.
No, man, we're good. We're good. I
Hey.
think that was the most dangerous word we said in this show.
Hey, let's close the show up with the short thought topics, where we always talk about trending topics, commonplace situations in a very short way.
Yes. Hey guys, before we proceed with the short topics, rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. KR, what's the
Yes,
first
yes.
topic?
The first topic: ex-diversity boss at Facebook and Nike stole 5 million and gets 5 years. 5 for 5.
Five by
One
five.
for everyone.
Yeah.
So the story goes, and this is the Barbara Furlow Smiles. I bet she ain't smiling now.
What's the second name?
Her name is Barbara Furlow. The last name is Furlow Smiles. I bet she ain't smiling now. But yeah,
Yeah, I
this
guess
is her.
her last name screams diversity. You know, fur, and then
Furlow. Furries.
exactly.
A former diversity manager at Facebook and Nike was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison for stealing a total of more than 5 million from those companies. She pleaded guilty to wire fraud in the case in December, where she stole 4.9 million from Facebook, utilizing a scheme involving fraudulent vendors, fake invoices, and cash kickbacks. She used, and this is the sad thing, she used the money to fund luxury lifestyle in California, Georgia, and Oregon. So basically, how these schemes usually work is that the person has a external person create a vendor, a fake vendor, and then they send an invoice, and then she pays the invoice based on that, and that's how they funnel out the money. RJ,
I think this scheme is called, because you have the Ponzi scheme. The schemes have a name.
Mhm.
This scheme is called, or can be called, the Black Lives Matter scheme. Um,
But
using
the
using
eyes.
money, using money that doesn't belong to you, screaming diversity. You're supposed to be there for a good cause.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be there to give people of all race, color, and creed a chance in the company. And you're there stealing money. And KR, this isn't the first
This is
time.
the sad thing. This is the sad thing, man.
You of all people. I mean, yeah, I'm saying, KR, when I look at one of the most bad person that I've encountered and I've came across in my life was a woman. She was a vegan. She was a social justice warrior, and she was the worst person I ever saw in my life. And I'm not saying that because she was all of those things, she was a bad person. I'm saying just because someone tells you that she's a vegan or that she's there for diversity and those type of things doesn't automatically mean that she's a good person.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just like when someone tells me, "Hey, you know what? This is my religion." It doesn't tell me anything about you. It just tells me what your religion is. You still need to prove to me that you're not a piece of ass. Oh, oh, oh. I was going to use the first letter of the word, but that made it worse.
You turn this from an insult to a assault. Verbal assault. Your ass.
Yeah, I meant the letter S, but it came out entirely
And
different.
then you tried to push the brakes on it midway and it already was out. Oh man.
because because the letter already is the word. There's no way.
There's
I
no way
start-
out. There's no way out. That's why I said anyway. Hey,
but
that's
doesn't
why
mean
I
that you're a
make
piece of
mistake multiple
ish. Yeah,
times. Yeah,
yeah,
piece of
yeah, yeah.
inch. I mean, this story. I think we covered a story similar to this a while ago, where a woman did the same thing at Amazon, where she funneled out about 10 million by creating the same scheme where they create fake vendors and having other people pay, these invoices getting paid, and then that person, well, she was even dumber than this one. She bought a house near Amazon as if she's gonna stay there for the next 10 years, was driving Ferraris to Amazon out of nowhere. I mean, at a certain point, people gonna ask their questions. The crazy story about Barbara in this case was that she did this first at Facebook. She
Are you
was terminated
serious?
for it. Yeah, she was terminated at Facebook for it. And then she went to Nike and did the same thing.
Maybe she was also a diversity hire. We need some non-crooks, and we also need some crooks.
Hey, that's a great,
Oh,
great way to
man.
end this one.
Yeah.
Talking about people getting locked up or people losing everything. The last story of today: former NFL star receiver reportedly files for bankruptcy. Who do you think this is?
NFL star receiver.
And cannot give a hint because the hint will tell you who it is.
Well, I'm
Don't,
not.
don't search it up. Don't search it up.
No. But I have a person in mind. I just need to see if this person was a.
If you search it, it's gonna pop up in the on the Google search.
No. No, but it's not the person that I thought it was. A former. What period are we talking about? What?
Receiver. Just say the name you think. Then we continue. 3, 2, 1, now.
I have no clue.
One receiver, a guy who catches the ball.
Yeah. Would I
3,
know him?
2, 1. Yes, you know him.
I have no clue. I.
But-
Oh, AB.
AB, man. AB filed for bankruptcy.
AB.
According to
Yeah, there's no
the
way
news.
ever any other hint would have been enough. I just
According to
CTE.
the CTESPN, that's his new brand. According to the story, he owes about 2.9 million to 8 creditors, and he has lost all the money he's earned, about 80 million during his career.
Mm.
He's not officially retired, but he stopped playing at the Buccaneers in 2021. So mid-season, or not mid-season, almost at the end of the season. So he
Yeah, we
stopped,
all remember
he
that.
retired, started waving at everyone like, "This is it, this is it." That was a crazy situation, but it tells you again the story of the athlete, that about 60% of them, 70% of them face serious financial hardships after their retirement. Most of them go broke after 5 years. He didn't even reach the 5 years. RJ.
Yeah, man. It's a sad story. You don't wish financial problems on anyone. But I think it just goes to show you wherever you go, there you are. Some people think that earning more money is the solution to all problems. But if you're not okay with yourself, if you have problems with yourself, if you don't work on yourself, if everything is the fault of everyone else, yeah, you're gonna come across problems. So in this case, it's financial problems. I wish him the best. I think, yeah, it's a shame, but it's a result of the life you choose, right?
Yeah, it's a shame, like you said. I think it's it could be better. It could. I mean, we I'll be lying if I said I wasn't expecting this, to be honest, because the way he was moving in life was a bit, let's say, not responsible. At a certain point, it will all bleed into your life, and yeah, at the end of the day, you have to be very very conscious about how you move. You cannot be out here spending too much money, because I mean, if you are if you are a athlete and you retire at 30, 35, 28, whatever age you retire on, before your 40s, that money should be able to last you the next 20, 30, 40 years. So living an extravagant life, that might fire back, and he was living a very extravagant life. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe the only thing that's left for him now is to drop another banger, so we can put the ish on.
The Grizz, I mean, it did catch on, man. It did catch on. But the problem is, in the music industry, you need to continue producing.
Or you need to find yourself a Diddy. Let's close this show.
Yeah, let's close it. Hey guys. uh, just to be clear, guys, that's a joke. Don't go out there and say that we've been endorsing this, because we don't. Nah, man. Hey guys, if you're still if you made it this far, thanks for watching and listening. Guys, whatever your thoughts are, let us know in the comment section below. Rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's have a healthy conversation in the comments section, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
I,
We
I, I,
are
I think no one will ever say again, and it's bad boys for life at the end of anything.
we'll see. We'll see.